I knew it was gonna happen. I've run out of space on my former hard drive. I just decided to go for the 5 terabyte. This way I can keep all my vlogging footage in one spot. I'm gonna get my stuff downloaded because I wanna show you guys how the chick is doing this morning after her little eye surgery. Who knew I was gonna be a chicken eye surgeon? And we're gonna go check on our new broody hen. My goal is make a private, quiet little nest for her in the broody box. Seems like that thing keeps getting continual use, even though I had only planned to just raise the chicks in it last summer. You wanna show people what you're doing? Are you playing? Yeah. You gonna go outside with me to look at the chickens? Chickens? Mama's getting my hair pulled back and then we'll go see the chickens, okay? Okay, Mama. Okay, Mama. That's nice, Gussie. Okay, let's get shoes on and go. Here's our little chick. Hello, little chick. Hi. That does look so much better. Hold it right there. Can you see the chickie in there? Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Maybe this little chickie will have an eye that's usable. That would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for your help, Fisher. Look at her eye. It's better, huh?
Yeah. Let me see.
It looks good, I think. So I think what we're gonna do today is actually move her over to the back to the flock now, and then we're gonna move the broody mom over here probably tonight. Pumpkin, yeah. Do you want to hold her and take her out with me? I just would like to say that I don't have chicken doctor on my resume, but chicken surgeon ought to be a new title that I add to my resume, I think. Because we have maybe successfully given this chick an eye for the rest of her life that she can use. But our little eye surgery chick already ran over here and rejoined the group. Apparently, she's feeling okay. Oh my word. Okay, we've got Pumpkin there, and she looks okay. But do you see what I have going on here? 2 different chickens laying their eggs right next to each other. There's all these empty boxes. But those 2. And look. Dottie is she's contemplating the same thing, like, where else can I go? I have to climb on top of this one. Hey, how about up here? How about up here, little miss? Oh my god, oh, these ridiculous chickens. Come on, look, she even wants in on that one. She wants to go in with the other 2. This is why no matter how many egg boxes you build, chickens will always have their favorites. And for some reason, some will always go unused. It's ridiculous and true. Today is Doug's day off, so I'm betting he's gonna roast today. That's something he tends to like to do whenever he's given free time, and I love drinking his fresh roasted coffee. We also have some friends coming today. It's a friend of mine, actually, that I think we got to know each other because of my blog. She has this website where she comes up with, it's called Frugal Fun for Boys and Girls. She comes up with these amazing, well, she's written a lot of Lego books. And Baxter actually got a submission in one of her Lego books, and he created a little spaceship The neat thing about those books is it's called Things You Can Build with Legos You Already Own. Once you've done your kit once or twice, you know, you want more ideas. So her books specialize in that, and her kids help her make them. So I'm excited to have them over today, and look what's happening. I knew this would be the case. I just said, I bet he's gonna roast today because it's his off day.
I am. Organic material.
Oh man, just that smells so good. How many are you gonna roast today?
Probably 4 batches, because my special blend is 5 different types of coffee, and I did 1 yesterday. I'm gonna do 1 of Kenya, 1 of Burundi, 1 of Guatemala, and 1 of Sumatra.
April 16th?
Like, okay.
Wasn't that like 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was. I've got 14 eggs from today that I've picked out based on size and color. We wanted to get our green and blue egg layers for sure, and then we wanted good sized eggs that weren't too big and weren't too small so that the chicks have a good chance of developing. We're gonna put in these eggs for Buttercup. She has gone broody again, and so hopefully this time we will have better odds basically. There's also going to be less eggs under her, so that might make for better odds for these chicks. The other chicken already has her eggs under her out in the nest, and so we're going to put them into this one once we get out there. We've waited until nighttime because broody hens can kind of get confused if you do it during the day and then you move them, because they can think that you're taking them away from their eggs and their protective instincts will kick in. So our hope is that by going to grab them at night, we can confuse them enough that by the time they wake up in the new place in the morning, they will accept these eggs and everything will be okay. So that's the goal. We're going. I'm just gonna put her right here. Here we go. Okay, she's hunkered down good. I'm getting these eggs. These have already been under her for about 28 to 30 hours. Okay, and I've got her, so May, you grab your box and I'll get my box. I think let's just walk real fast. Let's go. Put your arm over her. Right, and we're just gonna into their spots and hope that it takes. There you go, pumpkin. There. Alright, so I think we're good. We'll see. Thanks for your help. This is the second time that we have done 2 broody hens in that brooder box, and the first time was in May, and those 2 hens were 10 days apart. She just kept setting on eggs even though I scooted her out of the nest, and so I finally gave in to her. And then 8 or 9 days after that, Buttercup was doing the same thing, so I also let her. Pumpkin has been sitting on her nesting box all day long for well over a week. And I kept trying to scoot her out, and she's been very persistent. Because we've had some hen deaths recently, I decided that it would be a good time to just let her go ahead and sit, since that's her instinct and what she wants to do anyway. And then one day after that, I noticed that Buttercup was wanting to sit again. So now that she knows the drill, I think it's okay to use her and let her be one of my broody mamas again. I plan on putting lots of fresh food out for them and scraps right by them in the nesting box over the next few days and weeks so that they can have fresh food without having to get up off of their nests. So we'll see. Here's another adventure. I think we have 14 eggs under one of them and 15 under the other. So that would be almost 30 chicks. But probably they won't all hatch, and it could be that we end up with another crop of 15 or 20, and all together with the chicks we have and the hens we have and the roosters we have, that'll still probably get us up to a good place where we have good egg production for our family, where we have a little bit extra to sell. The number of chickens that we have allows us to essentially get enough eggs to not only provide plenty for our family and for gifts and enough to share with family, but also to sell that excess amount, and it ends up covering our feed costs, so that ultimately our chickens, we invested in them once, but we end up getting to have them almost for free. They're kind of self-sustaining at this point. So that's pretty great. And so these chickens, whether they are hens or roosters, will go on to be useful for us. The roosters I have come to love. You can watch my video about that. But I love roosters if they're good roosters, because they essentially have an innate desire to protect our hens. And we're out here in Texas. There are hawks, there are snakes, and there are bobcats. Those are the biggest predators. There's also things like possums and raccoons, and I don't want them to get my hens, but the biggest predators that we've seen here are hawks, snakes, and bobcats. And so my roosters have an inbuilt desire to protect the hens. So probably some of these chicks will become roosters that I will keep in the flock, especially to cull my less favorite roosters. Some we might eat, some we might sell, especially if they're hand raised and then well trained to be good roosters. They can end up being a good resource for other people. So that's kind of my plans for these chicks. It's kind of come about in a haphazard way, but I'm really glad to be increasing our flock and increasing basically our ability to self-sustain in these ways, at least for the present. Plus, it's a fun experiment to do with our kids. The kids love having chicks. And I feel like right now, you know, the whole thing with COVID, suddenly there was a big interest in, you know, prepping, and milk cows went for sale, are really high priced, and people were way more interested in learning about homesteading and about self-sustaining efforts. And I feel like this is a really great opportunity and a great time for me when we're not under the gun. We aren't in desperate need of these eggs right now, but I'm glad to be cultivating the skills that we may need, or that my kids may need, depending on how the state of the world goes. You know, it's a good thing to know how to, it's a good thing to have animal husbandry skills, and this is one small effort that I can make that is preparing my children and I with knowledge that could provide for us in the future, but also that can allow us to help others and to sustain more than just ourselves, to be a blessing to ourselves and others, whatever the case of the future is. Those are some of my hopes for this growth of our flock, and why I'm willing to kind of go with the instincts of our hens, because we have room for it, and I'm gaining skills and knowledge that I think is beneficial. So hope you'll follow along with us. It's going to be exciting to see how many of those little eggs that we just put under there are going to end up being hens in our flock that are, you know, good layers, or roosters. So yeah, follow along with us.